How's it on?
Yep.
Oh, it's on. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Talks with Jody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Hit that notification bell to stay updated with the latest content. Let's go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Live Talks with Caylin. Today's guest is Caylin Peterson. Caylin,
Hi.
please tell the viewers who you are, what you do.
So my name is Caylin. I am a model and social media manager.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Caylin, let's dive into it. Like, Caylin, I know, we've been friends now for a good couple of years. I mean, you're dating my cousin. Shout out to Chucky. You better watch this, Jared. Over that time, we've spoken about things in life. You very much into astrology, but I said with that we can chat up another time.
Yeah.
Guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. Definitely want to dive into that because Caylin, she knows the stuff. She knows astrology. But today I wanted to dive into a lot of things where you and we've spoken about previous friendships that we've had, and so my topics today will be based on that, on toxicity and stuff. But just to get you a bit warmed up, I want to start with an icebreaker. It's 2 questions. It's no right or wrong answer. It's all you. The first one is, name one goal that you have for the week.
Okay, so for the week, my goal is to focus on grounding more, getting out in nature. It's been quite a busy February, and I think I just want some stillness.
And nature, just something about nature that
something
just brings
about nature just gets me back
a calmness.
calm.
Yes.
I feel like myself again. Yeah.
Is it just in general? Is it the air? Is it the sounding, or is it just all of the above?
I think it's stillness, it's the air, and I think humans we are all connected, and the earth is so powerful, and I think the sun is so good for your heart, your mind, and that's why I think, especially if you've been indoors a lot or you've been busy around a lot of people, I think stillness and nature is just therapeutic for me.
Helps you recharge those batteries.
Yes, definitely.
No, that's good. And then my next question to you is, name one person, new or old. It can be somebody you met last week, it could be somebody you grew up with, in your life that you are both grateful and thankful for, and why.
I am very grateful for my mom.
Shout out to Mom.
She is one of my best friends, even though I wouldn't say best friend, I just value her so much because she's provided me with all the love and care I've ever needed, and I don't know what I'll do without her. Basically, I love her very much.
That's sweet. That's nice.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Let's dive into it. A few things I wanted to ask you because, like I said, I'm just diving into a few things that we've spoken about before. An empath. You always talk about an empath person. Tell the viewers, what is an empath person, and how does one become an empath?
Okay, so to me, an empath is someone that can relate to someone else's emotions and see it within themselves.
Okay.
They treat others' emotions as if it's their own.
Yeah, okay.
And
do you have an example? If somebody told you?
So, if someone said they are sad, a simple example.
But a story,
A story.
Let's say. Do you have an example?
They lost their dog or something.
Okay.
And you'll literally feel their pain within your own heart. And it's something you can't always explain. It's just especially if you care for them, but sometimes it could even be a stranger, you genuinely just care, and it's energy, And also, yeah.
So just relating in general.
Yes.
Okay. So, and how does one become that?
So I would say empaths, it's not really...
You don't really become?
It's not really what you become. I think sometimes on a psychological point of view, in psychology, they do state that it's based on life experiences. There's a bit of like a yin and yang. For example, you get empaths and you get narcissists. So narcissists, they don't have the ability to feel that empathy. They kind of see life in only their eyes and their own feelings. So it's not the same as an empath. So there's like two different worlds. So the empath may care too much and the narcissist does not care at all. And it's like those two extremes. It could be from past trauma. It could be from just your sensitivity. But I do think it has a lot to do with life experience and...
For both, eh?
For both. I think a lot of humans go through trauma, and it's like how you choose to come out of it. And I think empaths are the strongest because they choose not to hurt others, but rather try and heal others.
So you would say you are an empath?
I believe I'm an empath, yes. Yes.
And people around you, like let's say your group of friends, your circle,
yes.
Would you say they are the same or they relate? I mean, like I said, we're not not trying to break any friend circles, but do you in your circle?
I would say they are very... Well, my friendships right now, they are very kind. Sometimes you can confuse it with people-pleasing, like when someone's very nice, like people-pleasing, but
that's not
I don't know.
Yeah,
sometimes the path is quite solo, so I don't always feel like I meet other empaths, but I feel like I do meet very caring souls, yes.
Okay. But like you mentioned, like, so you can't really say just because they caring all that stuff, you can't really classify them as another empath.
It doesn't mean just because you're caring,
because you don't know how
empath.
They feel, like
exactly.
they're not really
Exactly.
They express
if they express that they care. But I mean, a lot of, like, for example, I may be very sensitive to a certain energy and they're like, they don't feel anything, it's just normal, like it's just like how they are, but it's not a bad thing. They still care. It doesn't mean they're a narcissist, It's
but
just
the
like
part
it's just like it's not as intense or like what I feel or
So like basically like the feeling and the both expressing like or verbally saying it and feeling doesn't correlate.
Yes.
So you're getting the one part of them is like they're saying they care, but you don't know how they feel.
Exactly.
Whether they're feeling it or not. Yeah. That's like saying, just like throwing the word "I love you," but are you actually feeling it, type of thing?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. And then just diving back to what you said about, or we spoke about with friends. So that's also something I like to talk about in terms of friendship. And you mentioned now your current friends. So I'm assuming there's friends that you've, cut ties with, and like I like to say to friends, to other friends that. Their expiration date has reached its limit, It's on to the next. Like, we all have timelines with each other, So tell me more about that. Like, tell me more about asserting boundaries. Because I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how close you were to these friends that you've cut ties with, but have you asserted boundaries with your current group of friends? Were there boundaries with your previous friends? Like, just talk to me around everything.
Okay, so I think the whole me asserting boundaries came from a long time ago.
Okay.
As a kid, as a sensitive kid, I was bullied quite a lot. Like, a lot of people bullied me for the most random things. Like,
and talking about in school and out of school, or?
Yes, I did dancing and school, and I had a lot of kids that really picked at me, and I was always the target since primary school to the beginning of high school. And what's crazy is that as an empath, even when people are rude to you, it's like you feel so bad for them. So it's not like I bullied them back, but it's more I got really sad, but like it's like I just always forgave them, and I think I don't know if that made me an easier target, because it's not like I reacted in a.
Okay, so when you say you felt for them, is it also in a sense of shame? I wonder what they're going through that made them so angry and take it out of me.
When I was younger, I couldn't really articulate that thinking. Like,
Of
it was
course,
more. I couldn't understand why these people are being so rude to me. Like, what is wrong with me? And so when it played out in my life, the fact that I couldn't bully them back. I just, there was no boundaries. I couldn't tell them stop. Like, I was scared, like, because I felt so much, you know.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna ask. So you didn't bully them back based on the physical aspects of things, but it's more just of the emotional.
Yes.
You just couldn't. It wasn't.
I couldn't. I felt like it was so mean. Like, so I would always just like speak to my parents, or I would. At one point, I had to like see a psychologist because it got so intense. Like, I just couldn't. I couldn't walk through school.
And then did it work? Seeing someone, a stranger, talking to a stranger?
It did work, because the one psychologist kind of went to my teacher, but then they got even more annoyed because they're like, oh, you're a tattletale. So it's not like they even stopped. And that's the sad thing. I guess bullying's a different topic, but that's kind of where my boundaries...
where
it's I feel like it began where I didn't assert it enough, and that's how I got taken advantage of.
Okay.
But the whole journey of being an empath can also mean you can be a people pleaser, because you care about what other people think about you. So especially with bullying, because I felt like they didn't like me, I tried my hardest to make them like me. So if they were rude to me, I wouldn't be like, I would just be like, I'll be the best me so that I can be accepted.
Okay.
And that didn't help. So that's why through my journey of school, after school, kind of was the first time I started asserting boundaries. I worked at this very intense place where managers were pure evil. Like, this one guy would scream in my face because he thought I'm weak, but I'm just like in my own world, like I'm calm, I don't know what that made him feel.
Maybe he just felt like he could, because
that experience at that job, I had to kind of be there for me for the first time. I was like, I cannot take this any longer. I'm not gonna go forward in my life having people walk all over me.
Yes.
And so there were a few like meetings they had where they tried to intimidate me, and those meetings I was alone. I couldn't rely on my mom, my dad, anyone else. I had to rely on myself. And that experience made me assert those boundaries and tell them, stop treating me this way. I do not deserve this. So that's kind of, like a lot of when I think I just had the epiphany. I'm like, I don't deserve this.
Okay, so you finally stood up to yourself, and you said to yourself, like, you know what, I need to now start asserting boundaries. I can't keep allowing everyone else to walk all over me.
Yes.
I'm not benefiting from this. I'm not I'm not getting any stronger. So I need to I get that. It makes sense. And then just talking about asserting boundaries on your previous relationships or friendships, friends that just recently cut ties with. What happened in terms of that?
I began the whole elimination of friends around the same period I experienced the job situation.
Okay.
Growing up, I also had a lot of strong personalities around me, and I was always kind of the timid, calm, I wouldn't chat back kind of girl. So I had a lot of very strong personalities.
Yes.
So with friendships, I for some reason gravitated to those kind of personalities in a sense.
Which one, the dominant ones?
In a sense, yes, controlling.
Why? Like, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know why. I think because I was so calm, it's like they liked my energy and like they stole my energy. But as a teenager, I didn't know the difference of like energy. I wasn't spiritual and
at that time, yes.
and aware.
Yes.
I just thought, oh, they're my friends. Like they care about me. Like I love them, so I'm sure they love me the same. Like I literally thought people love me the same.
Okay.
Obviously, besides for the bullies, but I'm like, because I care for them, they care for me. And then I had a close friend that betrayed my trust. And since then, I was like, whenever I created new friendships, I kept on eliminating like those that didn't respect me.
Yes.
Just based on their actions, like their words just weren't aligning. Yeah, so what were you saying regarding the friendships? What would you like
Yes,
me to
so no,
explain?
okay, so for example, so you had these friends that you mentioned, a close friend of yours you cut ties with.
Yeah.
So we were talking about asserting boundaries, right? So did you have boundaries with these friends? Did you assert anything?
I didn't because, like I said, a part of it being the empath, I was also a people pleaser, so I wanted people to accept me.
Okay.
And
So you dropped your guard.
rejected how I felt and rather put how they felt before me.
Okay.
So it was also like a lack of self-love in the process.
Yes.
Because I really just wanted to be accepted for me.
And that created what? A toxic environment.
A toxic,
for
a lot
you,
of toxic friendships. So
Yes.
at this moment, I'm not those I went to high school with, I'm not friends with any of them because I realized all of them were toxic.
Okay.
And all of them did not have my best interest.
Yes. It was all about them.
It was all about them, and also like I'll be there with them, and when I left them, the energy just felt off. Like
Okay.
it was just not true. Yeah, like.
What I was going to say is like, and it's a question I always ask myself. I don't know if you do this, and I've spoken to this also with a few friends. Is like I said, I've gone through this timeline or this expiration date with a few friends from the past. But in that time, I asked myself, do I see myself growing with these people?
Yes.
So there's a lot of factors that you know they come in play in here. Like, for example, maybe there's a certain routine where you're meeting up with your friend and you guys are just chilling, just binge watching. Now you have to ask yourself, for the next 5 years, do I see myself doing that?
Exactly.
Or is there friends that I'm talking to about, let's start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Let's go see this. Let's go on an adventure.
Yes.
Like friends that you can grow with.
You can expand.
Yes, and I
be a
felt
bit
like
to you.
there we go. So I felt like a lot of people that I've cut ties with is because of people who don't want to, number one, grow with me, and they don't want to grow within themselves. They don't want to develop their skills. They don't want to try things out of their comfort zone.
That's a boundary.
That's a boundary.
Yeah.
So that's why I want you to dive with me in terms of those friends that you cut off from in the past. Did you ever ask yourself that question? Do I see myself growing with these people? Am I quoting the same sort of?
I think as an adolescent, I did not think within like, how am I feeling? And what can I do to make myself feel better?
Yes, you have to put yourself first.
You know? And so getting out of high school and meeting different kinds of people, I realized they were also really nice people, and like
you're in the real
I don't
world.
deserve
Once you
to
leave
be
high school,
treated
you're
this
in the
way.
real world, yeah.
So it was more taking small steps of self-love.
Yes.
I think the journey with friendships taught me how to love myself first.
Okay. The different personalities.
Yes.
Just the different environments, basically.
I got to that point by actually, how we started out this podcast. I chose to like be on my own sometimes. Like I'll read self-help books about loving yourself more.
And that's you taking time for yourself, which is very important. It's something I always preach. You have to take the time for yourself. That's the only way you can love yourself, is by you putting in the time for you.
Exactly.
So that's good. That's good.
So I would go to the beach and I'll just sit and I would read these books based on like why people treat you this way, and it has nothing to do with you. It's their internal worlds projected onto you. So I slowly began seeing like this, it's not me. Like when people are rude to me, it's not me. It's, you know, but me accepting it and me just allowing it, it is me, because that shows I don't love myself like enough to deserve better. And so
because you're allowing it to happen time and time again, and you're not actually cutting it off there. Listen, yeah, I need to be away from this toxicity. I don't need this person or people in my life.
And the journey was it was lonely, because there was a time a friend betrayed me and they went around lying to mutual friends about me.
But you allowed that talk to affect you, right?
You know what? Like, someone said something so poorly about me to a point I was like, you know what? I'm not going to explain my situation, because I feel like I want to be the better person. But that kind of actually, like, shoot me in the foot in some way, because they all ended up believing the other person, and I was like kind of left alone. But then looking back, none of them are my friends, so I was like, they were never my friends to begin with. If they couldn't see my light,
they were an experience.
Yes, if they believed the lies, then they never cared about me in the first place.
Of course, no. And you I think that's what you also learn with these people that you cut ties with in your life. They're only an experience, yes, but they only, in that time that they were friends with you, you were, what do you call it? Like that, you were something that they needed at the time.
Yes.
But you didn't need them.
Exactly. And I think getting to that space where you're like, you know what, I can be okay on my own.
Yes. Because I deserve it.
That's when it became addictive, where it was like, you know what, I deserve more for myself. Like, I'm not gonna settle for less.
Yes. Let me take care of myself more.
Yes.
Till I can.
Yes. It was so hurtful. Like, it really hurt me, because again, also being a people pleaser, you want to be accepted for who you are, and you want people to understand you, but then having your reputation ruined based on lies, it's hurtful, especially if your whole life you just wanted people to love you for you. So, but getting through that made me so much stronger, you know. Good. So that was like the starting point, in a sense, of me following.
Happy. And you are at Nine Life with your friend circle, just everybody, people around you.
Honestly, I am. But like maybe a month ago, I ended another friendship, and last year another friendship ended. I mean, sometimes people just come into your life to teach you a lesson.
Yes.
And sometimes all toxic things can come forward again, and it just shows, okay, this is a test. Are you truly as healed, or are you healing in the way that you say that you do? Are you sticking to those promises, those boundaries, like holding yourself accountable? Like, okay, this friend disrespected you. Okay, do you love yourself enough to let them know and not continue this? Because they're not gonna if someone doesn't respect you, they're not gonna wake up one day respecting you. Like, you teach people how to treat you.
Yes.
So yeah, it's still a process, but right now I do have a select few that I feel like they really warm my heart, and I'm so grateful for them. And I didn't feel that way maybe 6 years ago, because I only had leeches in my life.
And were these people not in your life at that time?
No, they're all completely brand new friends.
So people, what you learn is people come into your life at the right time.
Yes.
Whether it's good or bad, people come in at the right time.
I think kind of how you feel about yourself gets projected into your reality. So like, for example, years ago, I felt like others were more deserving of the love and care more than myself, so I gave it out.
Okay.
But then with experience and like hurt, you're like, I want that love and care for myself. Yes. So I'm gonna stick with that. It's a beautiful experience though.
Oh, of course. No, Caylin, thank you so much. Is there any last is there any message you'd like the viewers to take home with them based on what we spoke about today?
I would say the journey may not be comfortable, especially if you perhaps a people pleaser where you want others to be happy and you forget about your needs. Or if you're an empath and you have very intense emotions and you feel others' energy, and I think just listening to your gut. Like everyone has a gut. I believe everyone's intuitive. So I think truly listening to yourself, you'll have more people who would respect you just based on how you respect yourself. So yes. The journey may be lonely because you could you lose a lot of people in the process, but a better you, a stronger you is number one.
I like that. And where can our viewers find you? Social?
Okay, so you can find me at capital K, so at CAPITALCAY. Yeah.
And guys, if you want more episodes, like I said with Caylin, we can chat about more things. We can chat about toxicity, astrology. You can comment below if there's any topics that you would like Caylin and I to discuss, to give advice on. But yes, guys, importantly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that notification bell to stay updated with my content. Till next time, guys. Cheers.